What if I told you that one of winter's most deceptive and genuinely deadliest killers is actually invisible? We're not talking about a massive blizzard or a record-breaking snowstorm. It's something that can be sitting right there on the road, looking, to all intents and purposes, like a perfectly harmless puddle.
Exactly. It's the perfect example of something that's truly hidden in plain sight, posing an incredible silent danger to drivers and pedestrians alike.
And today, we're diving deep into that very threat, black ice. We'll explore what it is, why it's given the name black when ice is typically white or cloudy, and most crucially, why it causes more accidents and tragically more fatalities than tornadoes and hurricanes combined.
It's a critical topic that everyone needs to understand, and we're ready to break down the science and safety for everyone listening.
Okay, let's get right into it. This morning, I was looking at the road and it truly just looked wet. So why do we call it black ice if ice, in our everyday experience, is usually white or appears cloudy? It's a bit of a paradox, isn't it?
It's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of its danger. The sciencey secret, if you will, is that black ice isn't actually black at all. In fact, it's 100% transparent. It's essentially invisible to the naked eye.
So it's essentially like a natural cloaking device for the road surface, making it virtually undetectable until you're right on top of it?
Precisely. Think about regular ice, like the cubes you put in your drinks. They look cloudy because they have tiny, trapped air bubbles inside. But black ice forms in such a way, very slowly and smoothly, that those air bubbles never get a chance to form. It's almost like it grows in very thin, clear layers. Because it's so perfectly clear, you just see the dark asphalt of the road surface right through it.
Ah, I get it now. So it's like putting a perfectly clear pane of glass over a black table. You don't actually see the glass itself, your eyes just perceive the black table underneath. That makes so much sense.
Exactly that analogy. And that's precisely why it's so incredibly deceptive. Your brain registers a wet road, but your tires are actually attempting to glide on what amounts to a frictionless sheet of glass. It's a terrifying thought when you're behind the wheel.
Now, we've all seen those warning signs, especially during colder months. Bridge freezes before road. For years, I wondered if that was just an old wives' tale, or if there's actual real physics behind that common warning.
Oh, it is absolutely 100% real, and it's all about basic thermodynamics, how heat moves. Let's use a simple analogy. Think of a regular road, the asphalt directly on the ground, like a person wearing a really good insulated heated vest. The earth underneath the road acts like a giant natural battery, absorbing and holding on to heat from the sun throughout the day and releasing it slowly overnight, keeping the pavement warmer.
And a bridge then, how does that compare in terms of retaining warmth or cooling down?
A bridge is like standing completely exposed, perhaps in just a t-shirt in a freezing wind tunnel. It's essentially exposed to cold air not just on its top surface where you're driving, but also from underneath and on all sides. It has no warm ground to draw heat from to keep it cozy, so it just loses heat dramatically faster. That's why you can be driving on a perfectly dry, normal road and then suddenly, without warning, hit what feels like an ice rink the very moment your wheels touch a bridge. It's a very sudden and dangerous transition.
So definitely a critical takeaway there. Always be extra suspicious and cautious on bridges and overpasses when temperatures are hovering around that freezing point, 0 degrees Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit. It's a definite red flag that warrants extreme caution.
Absolutely. Those are prime spots for black ice to form when other areas of the road are still just wet or even dry. It's a key piece of knowledge for winter driving safety.
Okay, let's talk about a common misconception, especially among drivers with certain vehicles. I drive an SUV, and it has all-wheel drive. I'm practically invincible on these winter roads, right? No need to worry about black ice?
You know, that is probably the most dangerous myth circulating out there, and it's something we hear all the time. While all-wheel drive is fantastic for helping you start moving in slippery conditions, it does absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, to help you stop or turn once you're on ice. On black ice, your tires are essentially just hovering over the road, barely making contact, regardless of how many wheels are trying to power you. It gives people a very false sense of security.
That's a really important distinction. So if I do find myself in that terrifying situation, if I start to skid on black ice, what's the immediate instinctive move? Is it to panic and slam on the brakes, which I imagine many people would instinctively do?
Absolutely not. That's actually the worst, most counterproductive thing you can do. The golden rule, and it takes a lot of mental discipline, is to do as little as possible. First, gently lift your foot off the gas pedal. Just let the car slow down naturally. Second, and this is crucial, do not hit the brakes. Slamming them will just lock your wheels, making you lose all control and effectively turning you into a passenger in your own car. And third, you want to gently steer into the skid. So, if the back of your car starts to swing out to the left, you would gently turn your steering wheel to the left. The goal is to gently guide the car, not fight it.
And it's not just drivers who are at risk. What about for our friends who are walking? I've seen people slipping and falling in parking lots and on sidewalks, truly like something out of a slapstick cartoon. It can lead to really serious injuries.
It absolutely can, and it's a huge problem, especially for pedestrians. My advice for walkers can be summed up in 2 words: the penguin walk. When you're on a potentially icy surface, you want to shift your center of gravity over your front leg, much like a penguin does. Take very small, shuffling steps, almost like you're flat-footed. And crucially, keep your hands out of your pockets, arms slightly out for balance. You need those arms to help you stabilize if you start to wobble.
So it really is a silent, often invisible threat that can impact everyone, whether you're driving or walking. The key takeaways seem to be constantly watch that thermometer, especially for temperatures around freezing. Be extra careful in shaded areas where ice might linger, and perhaps trust those suspicious wet patches on the road even less than you might trust, well, your ex.
That's a very relatable analogy. But seriously, if the road ahead looks unusually shiny or glossy, and perhaps more importantly, if the car in front of you is not kicking up any water spray, that's your absolute biggest, clearest warning sign. It means what looks like water is actually ice. You are very likely on black ice, and that's when you need to be at your most vigilant.
Absolutely critical advice. So everyone, please stay incredibly safe out there this winter season. Black ice is a serious hazard, but with awareness and preparation, we can all navigate it better. If you learned something new and helpful today, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and please share your own winter survival stories or tips in the comments section below. We love hearing from you.
And we'll see you in the next one with more essential insights to keep you safe.